everybody, I am back with another video, and before I get started with this review here, I want to say thanks for stopping by. And if this is your first time here, if you haven't done so already, make sure you do the right thing and hit the subscribe button below. And if you enjoyed the video, then give your girl a thumbs up. Alright, so let's get it. I actually have two pairs of shoes I'm reviewing today. So the first pair is in this box here. This is your standard Nike box. Nike and the swoosh on the top lid. So nothing too special, nothing too fancy. So GS sizes actually did not get the same OG box as the men's sizes did. It's unfortunate, but I'm not surprised or like shocked about it, right? Just because I feel like I'm used to being treated by Nike like this. So if you watch my previous video on the Air Max 90s, a very similar situation happened there. But I'm just grateful I picked up a pair in my size, so it's all good. And then the second pair is in this box here. Unbleached, uncolored cardboard box with the Nike swoosh cutout on the top lid. So this is the second time I've ever seen this type of box. The first time was with the exact same shoe in the men's size, and this is a GS size. So this is my size 4. So let's take a look at this later, but let's take a look at this one now. So this is also a size 4, which is in my size. So let's take a look inside. This is the Nike Air Max 95 OG in the neon colorway, and these dropped December 2020, which marks the 25th anniversary of the Air Max 95s. So this neon colorway here is the original colorway that debuted with the shoe a quarter century ago. So I hit on these in December, but I didn't get them until well into January because I think of the residual effects of the holidays and the delivery system just got backed up a little bit. And that's perfectly fine because in my top 10 of 2020 video, I mentioned that it was a blessing in disguise just because it would have made my top 10 list even more difficult to narrow down. And so these are super dope to me, and I'm so glad I hit on my size.
I'll kill you if you try me for my Air Max 95.
So let's go into some details. The Air Max 95 was designed by Sergio Lozano, and it was inspired by the human anatomy. So along the lateral and the medial side of the shoe for the upper, you see these grooves here that eventually leads you to see these lace loops, and it's supposed to represent the rib cage, and these waves here are supposed to represent muscle fibers, and the mesh is the skin. And then for the midsole of the shoe, it's supposed to be the base of the spine. Regarding materials that are used on the shoe, there's quite a lot. So for the front toe cap area as well as the gradient waves is made out of suede. And for the waves, it goes from a dark charcoal color and it transitions up to a lighter shade of gray. And in the lacing area of the shoe, the neon nylon lace loops or eye stays are sandwiched between the black jersey mesh liner and under the white mesh overlay. For the tongue part of the shoe, there's a reflective piece, and that's where you funnel through your laces. And I believe the rope laces are reflective as well. And then for the tongue, it's actually made out of two different materials. So for the bottom half, it's a lot more stretchy, a lot more breathable, and it reminds me of socks. And then for the top half, it's made out of nylon. For the top of the tongue, there's a tri-colored Air Max logo embroidered on, and the logo is in a neon black and light shade of gray. And it's really interesting because I think that the logo is done incorrectly, or the color blocking at least. So for the black color blocking, it's supposed to end at the R, but instead for mine, it ends a third way through the I. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but let's take a look at the right shoe. Here we have the right shoe, and the color blocking on the embroidery is the same as the left shoe, so at least it's consistent, right? So for the inside of the shoe, this is a white sock liner, and then for the insole, I'm gonna take that out. So this insole here, whoops. Okay, so for this insole here, this is a neon insole, and it's made out of mesh. It's really interesting because there is no branding on here whatsoever. So usually with Nike products, there's a an imprint that says Nike Air with a swoosh or just with the Nike and the swoosh, but there isn't anything here, not on the left shoe, not on the right shoe. So super interesting. I know that for the men's version, there is an imprint here. So they definitely did not include it for the GS size, and so it's super weird. And I hit on these through sneakers, so it's not like it's some foo-foo stuff. So super interesting. On the lateral side, there's a mini neon swoosh that's stitched on, so it's super cute. And then back here, there's a reflector as well for the heel, and it says Nike Air with the swoosh in black. Down here you have a blacked out midsole and there's windows throughout so you can see the air bubble units and the chambers are in neon. And what's really cool is that the Air Max 95s are the first sneakers to ever have the air bubble units exposed in the forefront of the shoe. So this silhouette is super classic and I'm a huge fan of it. For the outsole of the shoe, there's that classic waffle silhouette, and then down here there's a cutout and it exposes the bottom of the air bubble unit, and it's in neon and it says Nike Air with a swoosh. So it's really interesting because the GS sizes did not get the neon for the forefront of the outsole, nor did we get the PSI indicators at the bottom of the air bubble units. So the GS sizes actually are lacking a lot of the features that the men's sizes got, and it's only like a $30 difference between the GS and the men's size, so I wouldn't mind paying the extra amount if I got all the features that the men's sizes got, right? So I think it should be equal, but that's just my opinion. So these shoes are super dope to me. I really like them, and I feel like if I didn't know that these features existed in the men's sizes, then I wouldn't be tripping, right? But I do, and so it kind of sucks, but it happens, right? This happens very frequently with Nike and the products that they produce for GS sizes, and there's discrepancies between the different size tiers. So let's take a look at the second pair of shoes. This is the Denham Nike Air Max 95 collaboration in the Volt colorway, and these are super fresh. If you watch my top 10 of 2020 review, I talked about these shoes because I had them in men's sizes. And after that review, I was like, these are so dope, I had to pick them up in GS sizes. So I did, and so here we are. So let's go to some details. As you saw earlier when I opened up the box and pulled out the shoe, it came in a dust bag. So each shoe has its own dust bag, and so there's various forms of scissors or shears imprinted in black throughout the dust bag. And I'm a huge fan of these just because it's really convenient, especially when you travel, so it keeps your clothes separated from your shoes, so it's a really great thing to have. And so Denham is an Amsterdam-based jean company, so this is one of 3 collaborations with Nike. So they had the Air Max 1s, the 90s, and the 95s. So because it's a jean company, it's only appropriate that they use those materials for the shoe. So for the waves as well as the toe cap and the top half of the tongue, it's made out of denim. For the toe cap as well as the first wave closest to the midsole, it's in black. And then for the second wave, there's a splash of white in it, and it's the same fabric as the lining below the eyelets. And then the third wave is pretty much the inverse of the second wave. And for this top wave up here, they kind of threw a curveball. So instead of making it white like you would anticipate just given the pattern that it was going for, they made it cream instead. So I think it looks really good. And it's the same color for the top half of this tongue here. So since we're in this area, remember the color blocking that I was talking about earlier for the embroidery? So this is what I was talking about. So this is exactly what I mean. So the color blocking for the black should end exactly where the R ends, as opposed to a third way through the eye, like how it is on the neons. So this is where they messed up, and this is where they got it right. So the Volt color is like a neon green color, so it's accented throughout the shoe. So you see it for the lace loops, part of the embroidered logo, this cute little mini swoosh here, as well as the air chamber units. This design doesn't have any reflectors on it like the OG neons. So for the front tongue area, it's just black denim, and then for the heel, it's just made out of suede, and the Nike Air with the swoosh is embossed. For some co-branding on the shoes, there's a few subtle features. So at the end of the black rope laces, there's these lace tips here. So one end has the scissors and the other end has a mini Nike swoosh, so I thought that was super cute. And then for the lining of the shoe, is made out of mesh, and imprinted on the inside says Denham the Jean Maker. And then for the insole, if I could take it out, I always struggle with this. Oh, cool. So for the inside of the shoe, this insole here is black, and it says Nike Air with a swoosh, so this is some appropriate branding going on, and there's little scissors throughout the insole. For the midsole and the outsole of these denims, the silhouette is very similar to the OG neons, exposed air bubble units in the forefront as well as the heel, same waffle silhouette. The only thing different is this text down here. So instead of saying Nike Air with a swoosh and no PSI, this one says the truth is in the details. So overall, I like these shoes a lot. I think the collaboration is super dope. I think the quality of the materials are really good as well. However, I think the quality control could improve. So there's a lot of glue exposure between the midsole and the upper of the shoe. So I can remove it from the midsole, but it'll be really difficult to remove it on the denim panels. So I'll do my best. So what's really funny is that this Volt color is used to describe this neon green color, right? And I think it's a Nike signature color, but this neon color is used to describe a neon yellow. So they didn't use another word to describe that color. Because to me, neon is a descriptor word, so you use it to say that something's really bright, like neon yellow, neon pink, neon green, very similar to like highlighters, right? So if you think about the word metallic or pastel or even matte. So I'm not sure why Nike didn't come up with another word to describe neon yellow, but it is what it is. That's just my rant. So if you ever get your hands on these or you feed them, make sure you go true to size and hang tight for an on-feet look.
Perfect.